Alrighty, so we are live, right?
We are, yeah.
Well, liven up.
Alrighty, we just want to make sure. Sometimes I'm pretty good at screwing that part up. Okay, so if anybody comes in, right now we don't have anybody coming in except for us so far. But anybody coming in and watching the replay, we have got uh, my co-host Drew. She's got Mystical Woodland Advisors on there. It's also Drew's Paranormal Vlog. We have Sherry PWI for Spiritual Investigators. Oh, Carrie's just messaging out, sharing the link. And then we have Mr.
Oh,
Drew from
she's cute.
Living History Mysteries. So, Drew, would you like to go first and tell about yourself, and then we'll go to Sherry, and then we'll go to Mr. Drew.
Sure.
Hi, Carrie.
Yes, okay. Hello, everybody. For anybody that doesn't know me, I am Drew from Drew's Paranormal Vlog. I have also got Mystical Woodland Advisors there, guys, for anybody that's in the UK or Scotland. It is my business. It is offering you a paranormal investigation with a difference. What we do is we actually go out into the woods and we connect to all the elemental spirits. We connect to some of the woodland spirits. Well, we'll try and connect. I can't promise, but I usually can connect them pretty quick. So I'm offering you to come along on that experience with me, and I'm also willing to travel to your areas as well and see what is in your woodlands, and I'll do all the research, all the herbs and the plants and things, and I'll show you what's in your woodlands. So that's what the business is all about, guys. It's basically ghost hunting with a difference. So check that out. That's coming as soon as the weather starts to get better in Scotland. So fingers crossed for that. But yeah, a bit of paranormal, a bit of spiritual, witchy stuff. Anything really, guys, I talk about. Oh, welcome.
Alrighty. Okay.
Okay, so I am Sherry, also known as Willow. I'm obviously on PWI Spiritual Investigators. I am an investigator, I am a witch and a practicing shaman. I have got businesses and stuff that are coming into play, but I can't give details about that yet until it's up and running. So a lot of really interesting stuff coming along on my channel and that. And if you like paranormal, you like all things strange and unknown, and you like the mystical side and sides that people don't really know much about, then our channels are most definitely for you guys. Don't forget to like and support us all. Let's be.
Alrighty, and then we got our special guest, Mr. Drew.
Wow, I don't even know how to follow that. These two are so much more interesting than I am. I don't. My name's Drew. My channel is Living Histories Mysteries. We do a lot of American and world history, the mysteries that history left behind. We do paranormal, parahistoric investigations. We only go to places that have a very strong historic background, a historic legend, or something that goes with them. I'm not, like I said, I'm not near as interesting as Drew or Sherry is. There's not really a lot to tell. I'm a now Sherry and Drew and I have talked about this side of me before. Back in 2016, I actually died twice in like a 15-minute period, and I started to die a third time, and they put me in a coma. And though I was sensitive before that situation occurred, I'm even more sensitive now. So I'm able to feel a supernatural presence around me, which makes my investigations a lot easier. So we'll probably touch on that tonight. I don't know what Mystical has got in mind for tonight. I'm actually kind of scared. But I'm looking forward to it because it's been a while since I've joined anybody on a live stream. So work and family and everything. So that's about it for me.
Well, that is why I offered to come on, because we hadn't spoke to you for a while, and I had seen you on. I think it was one day I was going out and I had noticed that you were doing your coffee, but I couldn't stay. And I thought, look how good he looks. And I had it in my head, and then you came into one of the chats that we were on, so I thought, this is my chance to invite you up for an update. So it's good to see you. And I'll let sister
Good to
talk.
see you too.
She's like me. I always
It's good to
backwards.
see.
I always try to put everybody.
It's good to see all of you. I miss y'all.
Thank
It
you.
is, yeah.
Well, okay, so then I'll introduce myself. If everybody don't know, I'm Rochelle from Mystical Love and Light. I do paranormal investigations. We're doing homesteading. We've got our dogs that's going to be watching our chickens once we get them and finish the chicken coop. I do a magical garden. We go dig our own crystals. We do, like, I show how to do different tinctures and stuff. I just got a whole list on the playlist. Just check everything out. For anybody just coming in late or after the fact, we're aware of the echo, the delay, the background noise. It's coming on Mr. Drew's channel. He's aware of it. Multiple times he's tried to work on it and fix it. It's just something we deal with. We just have to keep going on with the program, and as far as what we're going to ask him talk about today, it's just a chit chat to see what he's been up to. Since Drew was kind enough to set it all up, we had Mr. Drew on our channel before, so we just trying to play catch up. Everybody's been so busy, on what they've been doing and everything. So we'll let Sis Drew kind of take over and ask questions, and Sherry can ask questions. And hey,
Stop.
Yeah, whatever he did, it stopped.
It stopped, then it started again.
So we'll let Sis Drew kind of take over and see where she wants to go from here.
Yeah. And for all the ones that don't know Drew, everybody, me and Sister Sherry and I, and Rochelle knows him as well now. We've known Drew for about 5 years, but roughly about the same time as we've known each other. He came into the community much about the same time as all of us, and I actually had spoke to him one day. He was going on a little tour somewhere. I think you were sitting outside a cafe, and I had mentioned that I was in Scotland and that my name was Drew, and we got talking. But then about a year later, you actually came into one of the communities. I thought, I've spoke to you before. And then I remembered that I'd spoke to you about a year before it. But, guys, he had a great channel and it was all doing great. And I think you were up to about 3,000 subscribers at one point, weren't you? And loads of history.
Yeah, about 3,500.
Yeah, do you want to tell people a bit about what you do for the ones that don't know you?
Now, are you referring to my old channel?
Yeah, how we all met. That was amazing. You used to do
Okay.
Things.
Yeah, I still do. I still do everything from pre-colonization America to cowboy era, historical reenactments. But my old channel, that was, God, that was a terror. And I advise anybody who does any kind of history or looks into old photographs or things like that, don't. Because once you start to build a good following, are we allowed to say dirty words on here?
Well, I'm not monetized, but I plan on being, so it depends on how dirty they are. Like a pig in the mud is dirty. That's okay.
I won't go that dirty. Some asshat, and I emphasize asshat. Better yet, some fanny head. And I'm sure that Drew and Sherry will get the gist of that one. Some fanny head decided that they wanted to copyright strike 1870 photographs, which you can't do. But since YouTube was being ran strictly by computer at that time during the pandemic, the computer went on and let the copyright slide, and they nailed me 3 times in a week. So that got my old channel booted over a collection of photographs. And the next day, the next day I started a brand new channel, and it's still going strong, and we're up almost. God, what are we up to now? We're up to
About even
1,550 people now. Something like that.
Yeah.
So that's it. If anybody wants to subscribe to Drew, his link is tagged down in the description box. So if you're watching this, just go to the description box, and all of ours is on there, so you can just click on them. I think Drew's looking to share it out.
Yeah, I'll share it out, guys. I'll grab it.
Okay. While Drew is sharing that out, Mr. Drew, that was interesting. You were telling us about stuff on your back wall that Drew mentioned earlier and asking you about. Would you want to tell people what all that is? It's very interesting on your wall.
Well, I'm constantly changing my back wall. I mean, I am so much like an American woman. I'm never satisfied with things the way they are, even when they look good.
I can
And
that.
so,
but there's something he's not told us yet, guys. He loves Scotland.
Yeah, but being the fact that I am of Scottish and English descent, you know, my family were originally McCrae's, the owners of Eileen Donnan Castle in northwest Scotland. My family, the other side of my family came from Ellsworthshire, south of Cambridge, in England. And so I decided to take my bagpipes, my bearded axe, which is also called a Bruce axe, and my basket hilt broadsword, my Scottish basket hilt, and my Scottish dirk, and just decorate. Hang those up on the wall back here with my spirit mirror that goes everywhere with me. So God knows what I managed to pick up with that little thing. But apparently nothing bad because we're doing well so far. But that's the. And then of course, you know, I can actually slide up. This is actually just a backdrop. It is hung directly behind me. That's where it ends.
Oh, okay.
So,
cool.
You know, it ends right there, and it ends right there. So.
Oh, cool. Well, for people
Sadly,
that
I mean, I found.
Go ahead.
Pardon?
Go ahead.
No,
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say I found this beautiful material at a local resale shop, and I thought, oh my God, that looks like mid 19th century Victorian wall fabric. You know, wallpaper wasn't wallpaper back then; it was actually fabric. And I thought, oh my God, it looks like beautiful Victorian era wall fabric. So I just hung it up back here. It's all tacked to a regular wall, and you know that's my decor here in my studio behind my desk where I do my live stream at.
Cool. So for the people that don't know, because you mentioned that spirit mirror behind you, and for people that comes in later that's not very spiritual but they're interested in it, do you want to explain like how you use that mirror? Hi, Christine. Welcome.
Hello, Christine.
Hi, hey Christine. Good to see you, honey. My spirit mirror. Now, I know a lot of covens will use spirit mirrors. a lot of paranormal investigators use spirit mirrors, and Native Americans a lot of times will use a spirit mirror on their. I'm sure you've seen those big, elaborate, beautiful dance bustles that Native American dancers wear. Some of them actually have a small spirit mirror in the center of the main part of the bustle. And basically, what it does is it will filter different spiritual energy, depending upon your own intentions. How you, hey Diane, um, how your own intent, your own feelings, your own emotions, whether it will attract bad energy or good energy. Um, but since I'm constantly purifying it, blessing it, I take it out on investigations with me. Um, I try to keep the energy flow with that mirror as pure as I possibly can because, well, much like everybody else on this panel tonight, I don't want no freaky heebie-jeebie stuff coming into my house and having a free doorway walking from the other side into my home with my wife and my child here and my kitty cats. And not that anything's going to get very far here with my little black familiar laying out here on the couch outside my door right now. So this is my little stuffed version of him. He all 16 and a half pounds of him, he's not going to let anything in this house. So.
That's big for a cat.
Yeah, he's a big cat. He's a big cat, and believe you me, he'll. My wife actually works nights, and a lot of times I'll lay out in the living room floor with him before I go to bed, and all of a sudden he'll start looking at a corner, and he'll just slowly move his head around as he's watching. It's like, yep, somebody's here again, aren't they, buddy? It's probably Grandma. Well, my wife's grandmother died here a week ago or a year ago this past January.
I remember that.
Yeah, Ralphie was laying right there on the back of the couch above her head when she passed away. And it took months and months and months for him to even stop getting up on the kitchen table where she used to make him get up there so she could pet him. So, and still to this day, a lot of times he'll jump up there if somebody sits in her chair, he'll jump up there and just kind of move his head around the room and just look and have the same reactions that he did when she pet him. So we know she's here. We know she's here. Her and Grandpa are both here.
Sherry, you have anything to ask Drew while we got him here?
I was going to say, so has there been any interesting investigations or reenactment things that you've done recently?
I had a couple reenactments after the last time we talked. Nice to see a decent hour for me. Brother Drew, to see you too, Christine, when it's not 12:30 at night. Well, when I do my live stream at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the state of Michigan, it's like 12:30 at night, or 12 o'clock at night for poor Christine in Australia. So it's here I am, 6:25, so it's what 12, 14 hours. It's early morning for her there, so
Yeah.
See, 8:25 a.m. But let me see here, reenactments. I've done a couple since we talked last. As for investigations, we really slowed down because my partner that I go out with, Mark, he took on a management role at the casino where he works at. So he was not able to know 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time when he was going to have a day off. So we really slowed down, but we're starting to, now that the weather has finally straightened out here in the Midwest and in the States and everything, we're actually starting to plan and
Good.
put things together for new investigations.
Oh, let me
Oh,
interrupt you.
awesome.
Diane, you don't have to leave. It's not on your side. It's on our side. We're aware of it. We can't get it fixed. But the
Yes,
audio is
I was
not on
not.
your end. Just to let you know.
Yes,
Okay,
I have
sorry.
no clue where that reverb comes from. I just actually
It was
just
okay when
got
you swapped
yeah,
headphones.
10,
See when you had them
10
in,
minutes
it was
ago.
fine.
Yeah, 10 minutes ago, I traded off I traded off one set of studio headphones for a set of headphones without a mic on them, and we still have it. So
Yeah.
But
absolutely no clue what
yeah.
causes it. I think it's internal in this camera because
Yeah, me.
it has the microphone for this camera is actually located right next to the speaker plug,
Mm.
and
Yeah, no,
I
Diane
think
just said that Mr. Drew's got audio problem. He's tried to resolve it, but he can't resolve it. So we are aware of it.
Yeah.
Mhm. But do you know, Drew, that when you disconnect, I don't know if you disconnected or turned off the other headset, when you did, everything came in clear on your side. When you got the new one, it came back. I don't know if that helps
yeah.
you with
See,
any information or not. Just
it's
saying.
really sad because if I unplug it, then I can't hear you guys.
Right.
Our guest is
Yeah.
Drew from Living History Mysteries.
Mhm. He's
He
been on our
also does
channel
loads of
before.
different stories and things, guys. So definitely check him out. He does good stories, and he always tries to make them funny. He's got a little cat that sits beside him, so it's him and his cat that kind of tell you these stories, and it's amazing the way Drew does it. He done it on his last channel as well. The way that he does things, he does it like a nice old school type of way. Like I just enjoy it because it looks like something from like the 70s, 80s, not all this modern stuff. So if you like all the like more history looking stuff, then you'll definitely love Brother Drew's channel. And he tells you
Oh
great
yeah.
stories and myths and legends and things as well.
Yeah,
Sometimes you
And
might
of
Diane.
even
course,
see him
he's got
dressed up.
Yeah, we've
Yeah, Diane.
actually got. I'm trying to see here real quick. Let me see here. Sunday we've done just straight history, like the American Wild West in photographs, and this coming
Yeah.
Thursday we're doing a video on Napoleon's rise to power and the mistakes he made
Oh
to cause
wow.
his ultimate downfall. And God,
There's a
next
lot to watch
Sunday
out
we
his
have
channel, guys.
next Sunday we have the Infield Monster from Infield, Illinois, 1973. Um, and then the following Tuesday, actually working on a video right now. It's about the mysterious missing persons. One of America's
Right.
biggest legends is what they call missing 411. And there's a retired police
Uh-huh.
officer named David Politis that investigates thousands of missing persons every year throughout Lower Canada and the
Yeah.
U.S. And the main story, and this is what caught my eye, the main story is about a man in the Northeast in New York State who was skiing with some friends, fell down, and woke up
Right.
almost a week later in California. Has no clue how he got there.
Wow.
He wasn't robbed. He woke up with a brand new cell phone, $1,000 in his pocket, and all of his clothes. Has no clue
Oh
how he
wow.
got there.
Wow.
So that's the kind of missing 411
I
stuff.
know there's a lot of people who Yeah, there's a lot of people go missing in the state forests and things as well in America, I've noticed. To
Well,
me, that sounds like they're going through portals or something, because where did they go? You know, I know it's bigger land than we have in Scotland, but we searched for years and they still never find them. So where did they go? Crazy.
Exactly.
well, if you believe
Yep.
in
Now he
conspiracy-
remembers. He thinks he remembers. I'm sorry. He thinks he remembers being on an 18-wheeler, but he don't remember the kind of 18-wheeler. He don't remember ever seeing a driver. He don't remember anything. Now, how this person got from a snowstorm in upper New York State to California, or how this truck driver picked him up and took him like that, no one knows. They can't find the truck driver. They can't find anything. I mean, the man even showed up with a haircut. They can't find anybody that cut his hair. So it's completely weird. That's the really cool crap I get into. It just makes me so excited trying to figure that stuff out. I've heard of the ski guy. Yeah, that's a very, very, very cool story.
Yeah, too many strange tales.
Yeah, well, you know,
I do apologise, guys. There is a little bit of lag.
Yeah. If you believe in conspiracy theories pertaining to aliens, I have no proof of this. I've heard it from many different sources. You know, you can believe it or not believe it because it's your choice. That's where the conspiracy theories come from. Some happen, some don't. You know, it's whatever. But the word is that the reason a lot of people disappear from like the forestry place, the places that are government protected, is because they have a pact with certain aliens that they're allowed to take so many people that they just can't take them from anywhere in any place, that they're allowed to take people from those specific places. Why so many people disappear. So if you watch videos on it, you know, and they're continuously saying that so many people disappear from them, they don't even put it out anymore because the number is so high. And that's kind of, give or take whether you believe it or not, that's what I've heard for years and years and years.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've heard that theory many, many, many times. But you know, one of the weirdest things about these missing 411 cases is, a lot of times you'll have small children disappear. There's a story. God, when did it come out of the 60s? I think 1969. 2.5 years old, vanished. Showed up the next day, 20 plus miles away. Had gone over 2 mountain ranges, elevations of over 3,000 feet. Now, number one, there's no way a 2.5-year-old child is going to survive freezing winter without any help, not being able to find shelter. But to walk 20 plus miles in less than 24 hours and come knocking on somebody's door, I need some help. It's just not conceivable. There's no possible way. And this has happened hundreds of times. Yeah. It's happened hundreds of times. I mean, where people children just disappear and then reappear the same day, a couple hours later, the next day, 3 or 4 days later, and they're perfectly fine. They're just cold and hungry and need help, but they have walked miles and miles and miles. And then, once again, you have this guy who disappears on a ski trip and reappears 3,000 miles away a week later and has no idea how he got there.
Portals. Yeah, portals, for sure.
Portals or some sort of energy that's taken. and removing you and putting you into other places.
Yeah.
Because I do agree with Drew when he said
Yep.
about the children and that. There's no way no child. For the starts, they wouldn't really know about direction or anything like that. They wouldn't know how to climb a mountain. They wouldn't know,
Yeah.
you know. And like Sister Mystical said, wild animals over in your place, like all your coyotes, wolves, and all that, you wouldn't survive. Bears, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely, that is
Well,
definitely
hey,
a mystery.
Stephen.
Definitely history.
I remember years ago, though, I mean, Jenny might agree with me with this. With us being in the UK, we don't really hear about many people going missing in our woodlands. Maybe people will go into the woods and have an accident or something, but they're usually always found. But in the last 2 years, I think it has been, there's been a lot of people went missing for like a week and they've been found near rivers or they've been found in the river. There's a couple of famous cases here just now.
Yeah.
Nicola Burley last year and things. And it's weird how they're always next to the woods, and there's a case this year as well. I don't even know if she's found yet, to be honest. But we don't usually hear cases of people going missing in the woods. So, and usually when we're watching American programs, things like that, like years ago, it wasn't ever mentioned anything about Sasquatch and things. All the programs that I ever watched was more aimed to these people being like murdered or serial
Yeah.
killers in America. But I know there's a lot in America. But it was always aimed towards that type of thing. It's only been, I would say, in the past maybe 5 years that in our UK TV that they've started to mention like Sasquatch, more of the like what do you call them, the dog man and things like that.
Dog
It's only
man.
just been recently in the last few years we've started to hear more of these cases. So that's interesting that you guys have always knew this in the US, but for us in the UK it's pretty new, us hearing just how common these cases are. It's weird.
And you know, let's flip the page for a second. People here in the U.S. are used to the Sasquatch and the Dog Man and stuff like that. But now let's take a little trip back to the old country. Fairies, kelpies, the black shook. You know, all that stuff that a lot of people here in the States have never heard of, but yet most of our origins started back over there. And those stories have been lost in the last 3 centuries of colonization here. But those stories, much like the history of England, Scotland, Germany, Hungary, all of Europe, is 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10,000 years older than we are here.
Yeah. Werewolves, I think a lot it gets blamed on over here. Yeah. Werewolves, I think, is about our most common entity that people used to blame.
You know, it wasn't very long ago I done a story on the Banshee. I believe it was during Halloween time. Now, that's a story that encompasses all of the Gaelic region. The Welsh, the English, the Scottish, the Irish, they all had their own stories of the Banshee. And when people started coming here from Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales, they were bringing those stories with them. And they were passing them down through oral tradition to their children and their grandchildren and stuff like that. And then in 3 or 4 or 5 generations,
and there's a lot of beliefs in what they are as well. Like some of us will say that they're spirit. Other people believe that there's some fae kind. There's some kind of fae. Like that, there's quite a lot of representations to what they are. Definitely.
Now,
and I
you
think
know,
that
I know
probably
that
everyone is correct.
I know
yeah.
that Sherry and I have talked in the past, and Drew and I have talked in the past about coming to America and doing investigations and stuff like that. And one day I will drag their butts to America, and we will actually do we will
We will
actually
do
do an investigation together. Somehow, some way, we'll do it.
it.
But
We
I
will.
want to go there. I want to go there. You know, we have the original 13 colonies. You know, Jamestown was started at the end of the 17th century. Okay, so there you go. You have
Yeah.
basically 300 years, 370 years.
Plus your family
I am
castle is
sure.
so fun. You have to come and see it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure that Sherry at one point in time or another, or Drew at one point in time or another, has sat down in a pub somewhere that is 3 times older than our 13 colonies.
Oh yeah.
People still go and drink a pint in buildings
Hello.
that are 600 years old, or live in a home that's 700 years old.
I think I
We
will.
don't have shit here that's that old, except a tree.
Well, if you think about like England and the UK and all of them sort of areas and that, we go back like centuries and centuries and centuries. Like we've got trees in our country that are over 1,000 years old. Come on, you know what I mean? We've got trees over 1,000
Oh,
years
yeah.
old. We've got buildings over 1,000 years old. Like there's a lot of history in the UK and the outsides, like you know, Ireland, Scotland, Wales.
That would be interesting to have a conversation with those trees.
I have. I've
Oh.
actually gone to the
Oh.
major oak at Sherwood
Yeah.
Forest. She's over 1,000 years old, and she's very ancient. She's got a lot of energy. She's seen a lot of things and experienced a lot of things. Yeah.
There's a tree, and I would love to see it. I would love to lay hand on it. There's a tree in a park not very far from Sherwood. And according to stories, this is the tree that Robin Hood and made the original, real, the people they were modeled after in the stories, got married under. This tree is supposed to be
yes,
over 2,000 years old. It is
That's a
in such
major
bad
oak.
shape. They've had to put braces up on the
Yeah,
limbs
that's the major
to
oak.
keep this poor old tree from falling over.
The major oak.
Now
that's
you
the
know,
one that
She's there.
yeah, yep.
nobody's
Let's
meant to
hope-
go
Yep.
onto the land of her anymore. People are not allowed to go over to her anymore because of how much damage to get.
It
But
was
I was
Dobby that
given
sent me that.
Yeah, I was given permission to climb the fence and go over to her a couple of years ago. So
Mm.
yeah, she's amazing.
Wow.
And it's
Yes,
also where
just to be able.
Robin Hood would sit there with his men and that, and they would like
800 years
invite like
old.
the richer people to sit there, and they would do their ram raids. They had the animals and stuff hiding in the tree. That was their main place for like big things.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, you think of some of our buildings, you think of some of our churches and stuff in this country that's 200 and 300 years old, where all over Europe, all over Northern Europe, of England, of Wales, of Scotland, well, up till you get to Hadrian's Wall, you can go up and you can physically touch architecture that is 1,000 years old, 1,500 years old, 1,700 years old. You know, 17 centuries, and this country here is only 3.5 centuries old. And that's what fascinates me about going back home, going back to the motherland and actually doing investigation. I've seen Drew go to castles that are 1,000 years old. I mean, they may be laying in ruin right now, and it's a damn shame that they are, because we have this thing here in the States where if a building has a historical significance to it, the government grants money to fix that place up and make it a historical landmark. And it's a bloody shame they don't do that back over in England, Scotland, Ireland. But I mean, there's so many buildings that are historical landmarks, it would be cost them a fortune.
Yeah.
There are some beautiful places over here, but they're just left to degrade, which is horrible.
See, yeah, I think there was a point in time when after the war, a lot of our castles, our big houses and things all got knocked down because a lot of the landowners and things couldn't keep the upkeep of them. I was watching a documentary the other day. It was about a lot of the big estates down in England where a lot of the landowners just could not keep their properties. So some of them get sent to the local towns to either be a college, a school, maybe a home or something. But a lot of the people way back after World War II had to give up their properties because they just could not keep them.
Yep. And once again, it's a shame. It's a shame that so many of those family estates, you know, I was just lucky that, you know, someone, and we'll go off on a little sideline here real quick. My family castle, Eileen Don. If any of you have ever watched the original Highlander movie, with Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery, that is Eileen Don Castle in his flashbacks where they have the McLeod Village set up. That is the bridge crossing from the island to the mainland that they cross on horseback, and Eileen Don Castle in the background. Now, it was bought at the beginning of the 20th century by a descendant of the McCrae clan. I believe his name was John McCrae or something like that, Sir Lord John McCrae. But he sunk the equivalency of $20 million into fixing that castle up to its previous glory. Now Eileen Don sits on 3 locks. There's an island sitting 50 yards off the mainland, and there's 3 locks that intersect right there. And that castle, the McCrae clan were in history, and I'm sure everybody, whether you live in Scotland or England or Ireland or America or wherever, you've all seen that little love story that came out a few years ago and took place at the Standing Stones in Scotland, where a young lady got transported back in time, and they mentioned the McGregor clan a lot in that. The McCraes were actually the male servant of the McGregors. We were the protectors. We were the guardians. We were the watchmen, the private security force for the McGregors. And you never seen a damn McCrae in that TV show the whole time it was on. But there's just that history, the Eileen Donnan, and we'll even shoot fast forward from there. The Jacobite uprising. My family fought with Mary, Queen of Scots. My family, part of my
I do. What's happened?
He froze. First, Drew froze, and
went
then
off.
now.
Quiet.
Yeah, Drew keeps freezing as
Mary.
well.
Froze.
I'll get back.
You're back. Okay.
But, you know, part of my family fought on the Jacobite side. Part of my family split away and fought on the Hanoverian side with Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Yeah.
But in 1754, the whole family came back together again and came to America. Go figure.
I remember you saying that once before, yeah. They had a big fallout in the Was there not
Well, I
something
mean,
to
if you
do
want
with
to,
your brother as well? Your stepbrother?
if you want a really good laugh, I don't think I've even told you girls this before. We were McRae's, but we were actually McGraws. We were a subsect of the McRae's.
Right.
Now, back in the early 17th century, the 1600s, my family, the Mahonies, had actually left Ireland, come to America, and they proved to be great seafarers. They went the wrong direction and hit Scotland. And the Mahonies became McGraws. Tug McGraw, Tim McGraw, that whole group.
Sorry, baby.
When my family came to America 150 years later, my grandmother, who was a McGraw, married my grandfather, a Mahoney.
That's crazy, isn't it?
They were related by 10 generations, but they were related. They were the same bloody Irish clan. So,
Wow.
No interbreeding in it, it's 10 decades apart.
yeah, so think about that. As huge as this world is, you had people that left Ireland and got to Scotland in the beginning of the 1600s, and in the middle of the 1700s, they left Scotland, came to America, and married right back into the same family that they originated from.
They probably didn't want to give away land and things, that's why they done it that way. It's because they didn't want anybody else trading land. So they kind of tried to keep it in the family.
That's a very good possibility.
Drew, look behind you and tell me if you see what I see. Were you seeing behind you, Sis Drew?
Yeah, I kept seeing something coming in and out here. As if there was something poking through the wall, keeping going back. Just about
Okay,
here.
yeah.
It's like
That
a
one
little-
was dark. The other ones were light, misty. That one was dark. Not dark, negative
Right.
dark. Don't get me wrong. It was just
Yeah,
like,
just darker.
yeah. Okay, as long as you know it's there and you see it.
Yeah, I've seen them come and
When you
go. They
play
must
it
be
back,
friends.
you'll see it.
Yeah, they've got to be like my guides or something because there's no other spirits
Yeah.
around that live in here, so it's
Yeah.
going to be one of them. Probably my new guide because he likes.
Latent.
he
Oh,
likes to
and
be seen.
just a fair warning too. If anybody sees anything around this light,
Yeah.
this light
Yeah.
used to set behind our sofa in the living room where Grandma used to sleep at.
I'll start asking you
Right.
about
So-
who's your mom.
So you sometimes, and it's just happened the other day during my lecture. Somebody seen what they thought was a head and shoulder come back over here towards the light and sat there for about 30 seconds, then moved away. This was actually Grandma's favorite light because she didn't have to push a button. All she had to do was turn a knob
Just
on it.
touch it. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely do feel very strong female energies in that room. Definitely.
Oh, she used to come in here all the time because it was my responsibility after she had the stroke.
Yeah.
It was my responsibility to take care of her. So for 7 years, that's what I done was took care of her. And whenever she got lonely, sitting out on the porch or playing the cat, she would come in here and sit with her back against my green screen and just sit there and talk to me while I was working on my videos and stuff. So she was very comfortable with this room.
She probably misses all of your paranormal investigations too.
Oh
yeah.
my God, she loved that. Oh, she loved that.
Christopher.
I would. Hey, Christopher. Good to see you. She
We're all having problems.
that little old woman used to always sit at the table when I would leave for an investigation. And I don't care if I got home at 3 o'clock in the morning. she would still be sitting at that table waiting to ask me what I found.
Oh, no, dude, that's amazing.
And I would highlight it for her, and then I'd say, okay, Steph's asleep. I don't have to really get up super early, so I'm going to go in there and I'm going to work on the video a little bit. I'll finish it in the morning. We can watch it tomorrow. Oh, good. I can't wait.
Oh, at the bottom right is a black animal with yellow eyes staring at Drew.
Oh, the Timberlake.
No, she's talking about Mr.
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah, Mr. Drew.
Oh, Mr. Drew, right, okay.
I didn't know if you're on about that little thing that's on the table. That's his little pussycat. Thing.
Yeah, that's since my kitty cat is too rambunctious to sit on my lap during a lot of my videos and stuff. I got this little plush
bear.
version of it.
They're like a little thing. Not real.
Diane said that real or a spirit.
Yeah, so Mr.
No, not that.
Oh, she said
He's
no,
on
not
about
that.
the other side then. He's on about the other side.
Yeah, she said no,
Right.
not that.
Alright, okay. Yeah.
I've not seen anything yet.
Bottom right.
Not no
That's
black
gonna be-
animal with yellow
That's
eyes.
going to be over here.
Yeah.
It's going to be over here by my coffee pot. And
She says by his left arm.
I'm not feeling anything. Trash
I've
can,
not seen anything.
picture.
Normally I would see stuff walking about. I don't. I
Yeah.
said I could feel the energy of a female there, but I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, I just seen something behind Sis Drew.
Yeah, I keep seeing it, but I know that Leighton's
Yeah, I think
with sis.
yeah.
Leighton
Oh,
keeps
but,
coming
yeah,
in
it's
and out.
definitely Leighton. Leighton.
He just done
For
his
this
bubble
year-
mouth at me.
Yeah.
Like that at me. I was like, I'll give you in a minute.
Yeah.
Please understand,
So,
guys, I've got a new guy, so he's here a lot when I go live. He likes to be seen, and he likes to usually touch me when I'm live. I think he's testing me to see how I react.
She said yes, it's a spirit. His arm is going through it. Yeah, because Diane can see things also.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Diane's good at spotting them. And our sister Phoenix is a little no well just now, guys, but she may be in the background watching. She just needs to rest up a little bit. Plus, a lot of people's internet is coming and going as well, so we do apologise for that.
Yeah, when Phoenix gets feeling better, she's gonna start joining us too when she can. So when I have Phoenix on there, I'll be putting her on there. So when she comes in, she'll be on there, and if she doesn't, then we know she's busy doing other stuff. So
It'll be good to start sharing more with her.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
now,
maybe Kara.
now there's a very good possibility, Diane, that's one of our kitties. We had a neighbor that was very irresponsible with one of her cats, and she let it get out and continuously get pregnant over and over and
Hi,
over.
Kim.
And
Yeah.
the mother seemed to always know her kittens would be taken care of if she brought them here. So right now we have what used to be one of our little homelesses. She's not even a year old yet. She won't be a year old till August. She's got kittens in her out here in our living room right now. And in the last 7 weeks, we've had to bury 2 of our babies that people hit with cars and didn't stop and anything else. So this was always home for the kitties.
Problem like that in America, because Mystical has the same problem with us about stray cats, stray dogs, and things.
Well, it was our
They're-
it was our fault because we let them come in the house 2 winters ago, and they knew this was always going to be home. We fed them so they didn't starve, and what was it, 6 weeks ago, one of them come dragging his whole back end up the driveway. Somebody hit him and paralyzed his back end, and we took care of him for 2 weeks here in the house till we finally had to put him to sleep because he wasn't going to get any better. And then 2 weeks ago, we came home from the store, and one of them was laying out in front of the house. Somebody had hit him and not even stopped or anything. And
Oh,
It's been a very, very rough
Mhm.
it's been a
Oh,
very rough month and a half because those are our babies.
I
yeah.
Yeah,
know.
grandma loved kitties. Grandma never liked animals before we got Ralphie, the big black cat.
Yeah.
And he just mysteriously one day we'd be sitting out at the table and she'd be like, "Come on, come on, come on." And he'd jump up on the table and she'd just sit there and stroke him, and then he'd roll over on his back and he'd play with her hand a little bit, and she'd start laughing at him and tickling him, and they were like the ultimate buddies up until she passed
Yes.
away.
Mhm.
And nobody can figure it out because she always
I know.
hated animals,
It is
especially in
very
her house.
difficult.
Yeah, I know all of
But
us that take care of strays around here.
yeah, we don't have strays. We have extended family members. We call them our little homeless.
Yeah, extended family
And
members.
luckily, we've seen Mama all winter long. We've not seen her pregnant yet, but little trash can managed to get pregnant when she got out one day for about 8 minutes, and we got her back in the house. And so now we're expecting. I think right
Your daughter
now
will
we
like
have
that.
Ralphie, Georgianne, and well, the wife calls her Harriet. I call her Trash Can. But then how many freaking babies she's got inside her, we'll never know till they
Mhm.
manage to come out. We
Oh,
expect them any week now.
Well,
So,
Drew,
it
a
feels
few
like it's
years
never ending
back,
with cats.
yeah, a few
so
years
if you'd
back,
like to
we trapped
donate to the Kitty
15
Food
of them
Fund,
and took them to get them fixed.
yeah, well, we were going to take Harriet to get her fixed, but it's like $300 here, and that's the absolute cheapest.
Well,
But
we
so
had
she
all of
managed
the
to.
strays, all of them. We trapped all of the strays that was coming around, and we did it in a 2 week period. And every time we would trap them, they would go to get fixed, and then bring them back and release them back. Because in order to fix strays, um, they will do it for a price, but you have to release them exactly where you trapped them at, which technically was
Hmm.
Okay.
here on the property. So we would bring them back, and we always had food out for them, but yet because they just kept
Can you
multiplying. So
control
we
it?
just had them all done at the same time within a 2 week period, and then that
Yeah.
way we didn't have to worry about no more
Yeah,
babies around here.
our veterinarian here isn't that kind-hearted. They want to charge $300 for a female, $200 for a male, regardless of whether it's a stray, a house pet, a barn
That's
cat.
crazy.
And where are you
It
at,
doesn't.
Drew? Where are you at?
Southwest Michigan.
Oh yeah, Michigan. I keep forgetting that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Cause and I
Terrible.
want to say they're not even your cats. I'm sure if you go and tell them, well, it's not my cat, they're like,
You
yeah,
do that?
whatever. We've heard that story a whole lot of times. But we were
Mm,
lucky because we found a lady that did that, and she got a grant from the state to help keep the population down. So she's the one
Right.
provided all the traps, and then when we trapped them, we would call her, and however many we trapped, we would pay her. But it was this much amount of money compared to what a
Right.
vet would have charged. So she would take them because she had a grant with the state. She would take them to different places wherever they had openings, get them fixed, return them back to me. Sometimes we would have to drive them so
Well
far,
done.
and she would take them from there. And so that's how we ended up, doing it. So,
That's
mm.
good, Kara.
Well, Diane grew up in Detroit. Yeah, about
Yeah,
three
Detroit. Wow.
three
that's
hours
what
from
they,
me, 3 hours northeast.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm only like
yeah.
15 minutes into Michigan out of Indiana. So I mean, I'm way down in the southwest part of Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
See,
do.
that's what they do here too. They'll clip the one tip of their ear, so when you see it and you see the clip, you know that that's already been fixed. That's
Well,
what
that's
they
a
do
good
here.
idea.
Yeah, and that way, if you see them coming around the house, you're like, okay, that one can't breathe because it's been fixed. You can spot it at a
Yeah.
distance.
And you
Yeah,
know
they
not
do
to
We got
that
touch
here.
it.
we
It's
have got
amazing
so
how many
many.
of the animals go round in America. I was shocked when I went over to Rudy how many dogs and
Crazy,
cats and that
yeah.
were walking around because it don't
You
happen
don't
over
see
here.
many here.
We don't have many stray dogs and that, cats and that round here. Like we don't,
Hmm.
not really.
We have so many stray cats and stuff around here that baby raccoons and baby possums
Yeah, we do too a
start
lot.
thinking they're cats.
Mhm.
Right. Wow, they go
Oh
back.
dear.
We
Oh
we
dear.
have literally walked outside at night and there been a wild raccoon or a wild possum eating the cat
The
food
cats.
with the
Yeah.
cats and just sit there and look at you like, pet me,
Yeah, I
please
did a
pet me, love me.
video. I did a video the other day, Mr. Drew, exactly that, and showed it on my front porch. And just like last week, I did a
Oh,
video.
Marilyn. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
He's so cute though.
yeah. People
He's a
use
Yeah,
big
them. They'll get the
okay.
babies and use them as pets. Well, anybody, do y'all have any questions or anything for anybody on the panel? We're
We,
going already
I
at an
did have
hour,
loads of
and
questions in my head, guys, but the
go for it.
delay has just called me off whack. I had loads of things I wanted to ask, but the delay is just terrible.
Well, you can try it.
I was going to ask you, have you got any plans on going back to the battlefields this year? Maybe live stream that for us, and we can try and spot things in the background.
I would love to go back to Gettysburg or go to Antietam or something like that. But with me working the job that I'm working right now, it's almost impossible for me to do any kind of planning at
Yeah.
all.
Well, even if you do
Uh,
know you're going somewhere, definitely let us know because the ladies are amazing at spotting things in the background. So I would love
oh,
a chance to actually see these places going alive. It'd be amazing.
oh yeah, definitely. If I do any traveling, especially to battlefields or the really big historic locations, of course, you know I'll always post my regular investigations and stuff on my
Yeah.
channel, so everybody can share in them. And do not, and I cannot stress this enough, do not ever be afraid of contradicting something that you see in a video.
Yeah.
My head is not so big that I can't take constructive criticism or somebody telling me that, oh, I don't think that's what that said, or hey, you missed something over in this corner when
Yeah.
you were
See, that's what
talking
I
over
like to
here.
do.
Definitely point
Yeah.
that stuff out. I welcome
Oh yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I
See, that's
love
what the
it. I
ladies
love
are
it.
good at doing. Yeah, they're good at doing all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We always
Yeah.
say on our channel, if you say something, say it, tell us. We can go back and,
Yeah.
look at it and stuff. Because when everybody knows if you do an investigation, there's so much going on that you can't possibly catch everything, yourself. And other people
Yeah, I
can
can
play
see
it
her.
back.
What is there?
Well,
So,
and also people have to keep in mind. It's been so long since I've had a chance to talk to these three girls, but people have to keep in mind that I'm slowly going blind. I have cataracts in both of my eyes. This eye is nothing but a fog now. That's all I ever see. This eye is about 70% gone, but it's still in that early stage here where some days it's clearer than others. So when I'm out in a cemetery or something at night and I've got the bright lights around me, it's really going to interfere. So you'll probably end up seeing me wear an eye patch over this eye a lot of times. But a lot of times that light is going to interfere with what I'm able to see, because a lot of times when you're out doing an investigation, a spirit will present itself in a fog. Well, I always see a fog. So I may need your help spotting things.
Definitely, honestly, anytime you...
Oh, we can help you with that.
Yeah, Sherry's spotting things right now in her place because she's like,
Aura. Aura's trying to see Leighton. Leighton's keeping coming.
Yeah.
She's looking at her baby. She's looking at her
Yeah.
son over there, make sure he's behaving.
all right, so everybody, we're gonna let y'all go, and I know Mr. Drew is probably gonna go conk out. He was trying to stay awake just for the live.
Yeah,
I'm awake now. I'm awake now. It's only 7:12 p.m. here, so I'm awake now for at least the next couple hours.
That has
So
been
you're on
good
the same
to
time
see
zone
you.
then. Okay.
It's been
So
good to
does
see you.
anybody
Mr.
have
Drew
any
Besides that-
is
questions?
coming. Yes, coming
Besides
for a
that, I
chat
have some
night.
bread pudding in the fridge to eat.
Did we say this Saturday, Brother Drew, for coming for a chat, or next week? For a one-to-one. One-to-one with the two Drews. We'll get an interview going. This week. Oh, I've just seen her walk right across that screen here.
Hey,
You seen
Drews.
that?
Sis, won't you be at mine that weekend?
Sorry guys, the spirits are playing up in my house and in Sherry's. They're walking right across the screen.
Drew, won't
Yeah.
you be at my house that weekend?
Oh yeah, but Sister Sherry's next Saturday, so I will, yeah. So it'll be this Saturday. I keep forgetting that that's close. Ooh.
Yes, we're
How do you
meeting.
forget
We're meeting.
about Sherry?
Yeah guys, next Friday I'm travelling down. So I'll probably be there about lunchtime.
Yeah, and I'll be travelling up to London to get sis.
Yeah. We'll do it
Okay,
this
so-
week if you want.
Oh, there you
I'll
go.
talk to you in Messenger.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so are we ready to let everybody go? And we'll, Drew, stay in the background so we can tell you thank you,
Yeah,
you know,
stay there, Brother
backstage
Drew.
and everything. So don't disappear. So all right, everybody, we're gonna let
Okay.
y'all go. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, and we really, really do appreciate you.
Yes.
Love and light,
Okay.
blessed be angels.
Guys.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
Blessed be Mary Poppins.